I don't know why I always do this countdown. Like, I can never make it past the first 15 seconds. Let's just get started, shall we? Anyways, everybody, welcome to the channel. You are watching the Toy Duo. Yes, it's confusing because there's 3 people on your screen, not 2. So we don't know if the name of the show should change, but I think I'm going to leave it. We're 26 episodes in. This is episode 26 of the Toy Duo. So that's pretty cool. On the show today, we got Ways of the Sith down at the bottom. He's been a regular co-host on the show, so welcome back. I know you've been missing for a couple of weeks. Somebody broke in, took all your action figures, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm packing everything, and I can't wait to move. It's killing me. I'm like getting all this last 2 weeks. We got so much new stuff, and I literally like have it open in front of me and just like open it and put it in a tote.
yeah, imagine that. And then up next to me right here is Chris from 1000th Ghost YouTube. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you need to go over there and subscribe. The link will be in the show description later because, man, I have not had stuff prepared.
You got more to do than the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, it was like yesterday I was trying to put together like the PowerPoint presentation for the hot or not section and stuff like that. And I was just kind of trying to throw stuff together. It's been kind of hectic. This is my first week back to work in like 2.5 weeks. I took 2.5 weeks off. And so I was just trying to catch up on stuff there. And I really haven't had a whole lot of time. And of course, I got the Hulk. So I had to do that. That took priority.
And you were at Comic-Con. So,
yeah,
I mean,
and running around Comic-Con and stuff. And that's true. Like, I didn't have tickets to go in, but if you go over to Biff Bam Pop, I did write an article as a guest writer over there with the help of Josh Whalen, who we all know from Points of Articulation and stuff like that. He writes for them regularly, was able to get me a guest writer spot to do a story. So I talked about my outside Comic-Con experience and stuff like that. So welcome to the show, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Anytime.
Definitely.
So the other part of the show that makes this all possible is everybody that's watching in the chat and chatting along, because you know what? We could sit up here and just talk about stuff, but every once in a while, somebody says something in the chat that just sets me off. No, I'm just kidding.
I haven't seen them here yet, so you're safe.
No, but like, everybody who joins and like has something to say. So I think it's really awesome when everybody jumps into the conversation and stuff like that. We're going to check out the chat. It's Collecting Star Wars YouTube. He's here watching us. I think he's got a new video. I didn't get a chance to see it, but it was a Tampa Comic-Con. Is that what it was?
He's got a lot down there. He's always at a show down there because Florida always gets different stuff out there.
I think he just put up or he was just advertising like the show floor for Tampa Comic-Con or something like that. Got Mr. B. He's here. He's saying hello. Well, he said hello to me. Thank you, Mr. B.
Hello to you.
I think this was before the show started. So Dandy 1981. He's wondering how our crazy cats are doing. I'm not a cat. I know you got cats, Dan. So how's your crazy cats doing?
I'm just seeing Dandy too. Him and Dino don't do the stream as much anymore.
Yeah, they do their little. We are going to pump you up on Sundays. 1000th Ghost. You're in 2 places at once.
I can materialize many places.
Anyways, let's see. Jonathan Redmond has joined us. Sunny Sundries, he's up early again, checking us out because I bet it's like 3 o'clock in the morning where he's at, 3 or 4 in the morning, right?
Where is he? In Australia, right?
Yeah, down under.
12 hours, I think.
12-hour difference. Yeah, because when we had Usual Mike on, we shifted an hour, and it was like 6 a.m. for him or something like that. So it was good for him, I think, because like nobody in his house was awake yet. Right. So it was like calm and peaceful in there. Because I remember we had them on before and the kids were running around in the back and stuff like that. It was really it was fun. Right. But they were making a lot of noise. Geek Strong is saying hello. He's driving and listening. So we can say whatever we want about Dino because he won't be able to respond in the chat if he truly is driving. If he responds in the chat, then I'm going to question whether or not he's driving. Hey there. Mr. B again. G-Force is here. He's saying hello.
Hey, G-Force.
Saying hello to everybody in the chat as well. Sunny is saying hello to everybody. And Jonathan, I post a funny and/or reference for Waze, but Vern won't read it. So, man, I just skipped like quite a few comments. I go back, I read them, and I'm like, how did I miss that? Let's see. Sonny's have to get to work at 4:30 in the morning. That's pretty early. Paul Morales is saying hello to everybody. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Here's Geek Strong again, still like, Vern, turn your phone on. How am I supposed to interrupt the show? Yeah, I got it on mute. I think he's going to try to call me, but I won't answer. I'm not like that. And then let's see, 11 and a half hours, or in 1.5 hours. Oh, so 4:30 is 1.5 hours. So it is 3 o'clock there. Let's see. Plastic Snot Goblin is saying hello from Sydney, Australia. It's 5 a.m. here, and he needs coffee. And there's nothing wrong with drinking coffee and watching the show, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have beverage? So let me ask you guys: do you guys have beverages with you right now?
I do. I have sweet tea.
Oh, nice. I have water, and mostly because I'm on carpet in my house, and because of my history, I'm not allowed to drink any colored beverage anywhere there's carpet in my house. No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
We were cleaning the garage a little bit this morning, so I was like, I barely made it. So sorry I didn't get you guys like the link a little bit sooner. What do you got there, Waze?
I was messing with it. No, I actually have chocolate milk. I'm a big chocolate milk fan. Yeah, I got a Wawa right by me, so that's what I always.
Oh, so you went and bought a chocolate milk?
Yeah.
So you didn't break out the Hershey's like Messy Marvin. The only thing that you could do without making a mess is make the hot chocolate or the chocolate.
No, I'm lazy. I buy the chocolate milk already pre-made. I don't even know if it's real milk. It might not even be real milk.
So I want to ask Chris about this sweet tea, because I am a fan of drinking sweet tea. Do you make it yourself, or do you buy like the jug from like Chick-fil-A or something like that?
I used to make it, but now I found that Milo's sweet tea is really good, and that's all I buy now. I buy a gallon a week, and I can make that last a week.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I do, but I do you use honey when you were making your sweet tea? Do you use honey?
I did use a little bit of honey. Yeah, I do a little bit of sugar and a little bit of honey, because that's how my grandma used to make it.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's traditionally the correct way to make sweet tea. In California, though, it's just like a boatload of sugar.
Yeah, I actually water this down because it's a little sugary.
Yeah, I buy. So when we go to, they have this place called Cane's, Raising Cane's. It's like a chicken place.
Yeah,
and they have. I think their sweet tea is really good, but a little sweet. So I do like split that with water, just because as you get older, you have to like be a little bit more conscious about those things, right?
Yeah.
So Chris, I gotta ask you. I'm gonna make you a big screen because I see like you got a lot of stuff behind you, and I want to ask you some questions about your collection.
Okay.
Is your collection all in one room, or do you have multiple rooms?
Every room of my house is full of collections. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms full.
So are they all set up similar with like shelves on the wall and everything, kind of like?
Yes. Yeah, except for the kitchen. That just has figures on the walls.
Okay, so do you like?
I need shelves like that to go up.
Do you on Saturdays charge entrance at your door and let people come in and peruse the museum?
Whenever I have people come over to do work, like if I'm having something done for plumbing and stuff, there's always a tour to begin, because they always walk in. It's always some 30 to 40 something year old guy, and he walks in, and the front room is just Star Wars and all kinds of stuff, and they're like, oh, I was like, do you want a tour, please? Yeah, so then we go on a tour, and then randomly I do get a discount on what I'm getting done.
So you were definitely not a single theme collector, right? You collect pretty much everything.
A lot. Because my first job was in the toy department at Woolworth.
Oh, okay.
87. So I've worked at Woolworth in the toy department. I worked at Toys R Us for 5 or 6 years, and then I worked at KB Toys for like 11 years. So I saw everything come through. And I did just collect Transformers and Star Wars when I was younger. But then, you know, the Terminator toys came out and they were neat, so I bought some of those. And then Aliens came out and those were neat, so I bought some. And then Batman animated. And then it just kind of, and then when I got to KB, we would have things like, you know, we would get the Toy Biz Marvel or, you know, Warriors of Virtue or something like that, and they'd be 3 for $10. Well, for $20, I could complete a whole wave of something.
Right.
And then that's how it slowly progressed to now I buy things if I really like the packaging, because I'm an inbox collector and I don't open much. Okay. So if I really like the packaging, I'll buy something even if I don't have any use for it at all.
So as an inbox collector, then, those are Indiana Jones on the top shelf behind you?
Yeah, I just put those there today because I removed a whole bunch of Lego that was there.
Okay, so how much of this new windowless packaging have you bought, you think?
The Indiana Jones stuff.
Okay, so besides that, it's like nothing else because you can't see it.
Oh no, I guess I have bought like maybe 4 or 5 Marvel figures because they were on clearance. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like the windowless stuff. Now I don't mind these because they have the pictures on the side. Okay. And I like how they look like that. Yeah. I would really like to be able to see the figures, and I can't wait for next year when we get our packaging back.
Right. Do you think that they should do a complete re-release of everything they've released in a window packaging? Yeah.
No, because nobody will buy it. I don't think people would rebuy it.
Yeah, I don't think. Are you worried that there's one box up there that just has like some rocks in it?
You never know. Yeah. You know, that's, and I'll never know because it'll never be open. So when I'm dead, somebody I bought this great collection at some, you know, sale, and then 3 of the boxes had rocks in it.
I'm just curious because, all right, so you've been collecting a long time. I actually worked at Toys R Us. I'll tell you a quick little story about that. I worked at Toys R Us for like one day. They hired me. I came in to do overnight stocking, and they locked us in the store at like 10 o'clock at night, and they weren't going to let you out till 6 a.m. We worked for like an hour and a half, and then just played in the entire store till about 4:30, and then started stocking again. And I got off work. I was like, I can't believe it's my job. I walked over to Target and they hired me. They were doing a job fair. They hired me, and I quit the Toys R Us.
That's what we would do. I would run the overnight cruise at Christmas, and we would get a full semi of freight to put out, generally almost every night.
Right.
And the rule was, as long as we got that done, they didn't care what we did.
Right. That's what the guy said.
Our ass off for like 3 hours, 3-4 hours. Then we'd watch a movie, or we'd run around. You know, some of the guys would get a couple of the bikes down and run around, or we'd throw balls around, and we had a good old time.
That's exactly what it was. He goes, let's just bust it for like couple hours, then we'll just play for like 4 hours, and then we'll just bust it for 2 hours. I was like, okay, but who can do that like every single night, right? Like
it was good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun for the one night, but I wasn't really into like an overnight. That was like the one thing I wanted. A daytime. I
only did that at Christmas, partially because our store was haunted, but also because I like sleep.
Your store was haunted?
Yeah, we had at least 2 ghosts that we know of that were in there.
Wow.
Not as bad as the one out in California. The one out in California used to actually throw bikes at people. And like that. Ours just, you would hear wooden doors slam shut, and there aren't any wooden doors. All the doors are on those like push hinges. So there was no reason you would hear that. Randomly, you would see a candle in the window. And if you put your hand in front of the reflection, it would disappear, as if you were blocking it from view.
That's
and then
amazing.
There was a older lady in a Victorianish blue dress that would walk out of one door, turn, and almost basically turn right again, and as if she was leaving like a living room and going to a kitchen. And she'd do it randomly. It scared the hell out of new people. You had to warn them.
Where was it?
For a whole end cap of Halloween candy. It was pretty cool.
And
So,
this
where
is in
was it?
Minnesota, believe it.
This was he was Toys R Us in Aurora, Colorado, at Mississippi and I-25, I-225.
So
Wow, that's
Colorado has a big history for hauntings and stuff. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, we never could figure out who she was or why that ground was haunted. We assumed there used to be something there, an old house or something. But
that is crazy. I think the closest I ever came to like being in anywhere that I thought was haunted was my dad was in the Air Force. His last station was Castle Air Force Base in Northern California. They had a little airplane museum there. And one of the bombers was lifted out of a lake somewhere and restored and brought to the museum. And it was always considered to be like haunted.
mm-hmm.
And you'd go there and it just felt weird. Like it'd be like a hot day. You'd get right by that bomber and there'd be like a really cool feeling. No breeze. You just feel cold all of a sudden. It was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a couple of different ghosts here and there. There was a demon who lived in the house when I was up to about 3. It lived in the basement of the house, and it was just this it was pushed far back into a corner, and it was just kind of a furry black. You couldn't really make out much of it except its face, and it just sat there and stared.
Right.
And never did anything, just stared with these really dark red eyes.
Oh my gosh. You saw all this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a true believer.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what it was, if it's transdimensional or something like that, but yeah, I do believe.
Yeah. Plastics Not Goblins did 17 years on the night shift. Sleep says messes with your sleep cycle. Just saying hello to Joseph Bett. He joined us. We got Rolando here saying hello. Gap After Dark is also saying hello. And then Axel06 has joined us and he's saying hello. Let's see. I want to go back and say there's a Woolworths. There's still a Woolworths in Australia, but it's different from the U.S. Woolworths because they actually sell wool.
Yes. Just wool.
So, Chris, what's your most prized possession in all your collection?
I would say my Gen 1 Soundwave. Still mint in package, never been opened. I just happened to get a second one for that Christmas, and I just kind of sat it aside. And that was actually really the beginning of my closed, I used to everything, of course.
Right, of course.
And, Vern will remember when, Lion-O Play World and Toys R Us and stuff had end caps of Star Wars figures for 78 cents a piece on clearance.
Yeah.
Rid of them. I really wish I would have just cleared half that off and,
Yeah. I do too, but it's one of those things that, like, when they had those, I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the
I
problem.
already had 3 stormtroopers. Why do I need more stormtroopers?
Right.
I
remember going to the store and my parents telling me, like, yeah, there's like 8 new figures. Pick the one you really want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, one. Like, really? And I think about it like,
I'd have to save it for 2 or 3 weeks to get a new Dinobot or something.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, if you think about the way money is, like you're saying 78 cents, it seems like, man, that's nothing. That's like $1. But gas, when I started driving, was like 35 cents a gallon.
Yeah. It was, everything was so different. My dad says that all the time. Whenever I take him to dinner or something, he's like, this was $1.50 85 years ago. Sure it was, Dad. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Gap saying his most prized possession would be the Visitor 12-inch action figure, only toy released from the series. That would be a cool one to have, actually.
That was a cool figure. My grail piece, and I would never be able to get it, is either a Shogun Warrior Godzilla in box or the Clash of the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, can you imagine having a Godzilla? like a Shogun Warrior Godzilla. So GeForce is asking me about a box. Yes, this was my Christmas in July winnings that I got. I do have it. I didn't announce it yet because I just kind of barely opened and make sure everything was fine. But I want to do some pictures and I'm going to do a video GeForce. That's why I am not really saying anything about it yet.
So Chris, I used to be an all inbox collector. I do have some stuff that I do still keep inbox, but do you find it like challenging finding space for everything? Because that's basically why I ended up
I
opening
have
stuff.
a one-car garage that is literally packed all the way to the ceiling and all the way to the rim with stuff that isn't out at my house.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. I mean, I would never allow this kind of mess in my house. But now I've got totes everywhere because it's easier to move things.
Right.
I used to put everything in boxes, but I couldn't trust myself to remember what was in the box.
Even if you write on the side?
I do write on the side, but I can't trust myself that that's actually what's in it this time.
Yeah.
Opening them again. Now I've got these clear things, and it's easier.
Yeah, you could just see.
Yeah.
So so the Soundwave is your most prized possession, the one that's in the package. What's the oldest thing you have in your collection? Open or not?
The oldest thing I have in my collection.
Making big screen for this.
Is this Dick Tracy?
What?
Oh wow!
Communicator. My dad to me. He was like, "You need this." I was like, "Yes, I do." And it's a little radio, but it doesn't actually work anymore. But that's my oldest thing.
That's
great,
actually really cool. You know what I wish about the Apple Watch? I wish that it would play the ringtone that's set on your phone, right? Instead of like that whatever, because you could then take all the Dick Tracy, like the calling Dick Tracy stuff, throw it on the phone, or and then put the animation of the character that would be their profile pic. So anytime somebody's calling you, it's either like one of the characters calling Dick Tracy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think that would be hilarious, but they haven't made it so you can do that yet.
That sounds like an app that would be easy to make.
Yeah.
So I know you collect board games as well, right?
Yeah.
Are those open?
Almost all of them are. Yeah, I used to collect Trivial Pursuit and Monopoly back when Monopoly didn't have a zillion different versions.
Right.
Actually getting a Star Wars Monopoly was a cool thing.
Yeah,
sure.
But now, I've got like Barney Miller and SWAT and Partridge Family, and all those are open because they're I've got a few, like I've got a Mask and a few 70s ones up that are still sealed from some guy who owned a it's not like an Ace Hardware, but it's like a small town everything store.
Sure.
And it went out of business, and he just packed all this stuff up and put it in a garage for the last 30 years. And then he passed, and his son just put it all out in his estate sale. And I got a whole bunch of cool sealed box stuff.
That's really cool. Have you played a lot of the games, or are they just open and you look at them?
They're just open now. We used to play them. Like SWAT was cool because they were little cardboard SWAT things that you had to move around. We've played the Barney Miller. We used to play Monopoly and Risk and Trivial Pursuit all the time. But then people I wanted to play with wouldn't play anymore because I usually won.
Uh-huh.
And so then they switched to their game now is what's the railroad game?
I don't know.
Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
They love Ticket to Ride, so we play that now.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like, out of all the games, what do you think the one that's the most convoluted to just brand it with a show do you think is?
The Barney Miller game was weird. You had to, it didn't seem to match anything. I also have an All in the Family card game that doesn't make any sense.
Really?
But that's really, weird. It just shows you could throw anything. And it didn't, the base instructions were like, fucking move around the board and do something.
And don't do anything.
Yeah, all the instructions are on the front of one page. It's about that big, and
I had bought one board game. I think it was the '80s, early '80s. Do you remember a movie called Cloak and Dagger?
Oh yeah, I love that. I almost bought that the other day, but it was like $80.
Yeah, I bought that game only because it had a metal Jack Flag figure in it. And that's the only reason I bought it. And then when I tried to play it, I was like, this is just the dumbest game ever. I was like, well, at least I got this little figure,
Yeah, I got this little figure to go with it. Yeah. But
I wish I still had it. I don't know where that dude went. I had him for a long time. I don't know what happened to him. So I also like to ask, if you had to get rid of everything, I'm assuming you would say the Soundwave you would keep. Say you had to get rid of everything except for one genre of item that you collect, what would you keep?
That's hard. I would almost say my autograph collection.
Okay.
Because that would be the most pieces and it would take up the least amount of space. Because Star Wars, I have almost every 3 3/4 inch figure made.
Sure.
And so that's a couple thousand of those, and I have all the Star Trek and a ton of Transformers. So I would say to keep something worth value would be my autographs. I would probably even let my Soundwave go.
Really? Wow.
It's actually kind of I've got about a 4-year plan, and I am going to at some point liquidate my entire collection, except for possibly some Lego and my autographs.
Really? Wow.
All right, let's see. I want to read this. Mr. B says, Classics Not Goblin says, I'm a mint and box collector, and space is a valuable real estate. It is. I agree with that.
And rotate things.
Yeah.
It's the big bit.
Yeah. Mr. B is saying that he's customized a Fortnite boat. He's going to post pictures of that. And
I still gotta paint mine up. I opened them, but then I put them back in box until I move.
Until you move, yeah.
That's one of the things. Yeah, I got a big box of stuff from Syndicate, so I got a bunch of stuff in front of me that I was working on.
Oh, cool! Like new customs.
Yeah, hold on. I'll show you one. I'll give you a peek at one.
All right, hold on. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Quinlan Voss from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
What's the head on there, or is that a custom?
Custom Quinlan Voss head.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
I got to do his tats on his arms though. That's the only thing that I'm missing, and I got a Sage Ventress too to go with them, so they'll look cool.
All right, so you saw the Haunted Mansion.
I did. I saw it yesterday, first thing in the morning.
And that's kind of like the theme of your channel is based on.
Yeah, I love Haunted Mansion. I collect a lot of stuff that I can afford, and a lot of the Disney collectibles are so expensive for especially the park stuff. I mean, I just paid $50 yesterday for a new Haunted Mansion popcorn bucket. That's
wow.
That's cool though. I saw the picture you posted. That looks really awesome.
So, but yeah, that's kind of the thing. The movie was really good. It's nothing like you think it is. I won't give no spoilers or anything, but the movie is really about loss and how you deal with loss, and how not dealing with loss can lead to trouble. And almost every character in the movie has had some sort of loss that brings them to the mansion, and how the mansion reacts to them, and how the Hatbox Ghost reacts to them. It's pretty cool. There's actually a couple scenes in there. With me losing my mom this last year.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. There were a few things in there about letting go, and you can't dwell on this stuff that almost made me well up a little bit. But the cast was really good. The effects are incredible, and the set design is amazing. There's so many small nods to the mansion, of course, but there's little bits and pieces for Walt Disney World. It's mostly a Disneyland movie, but there's a few things in there from Walt Disney World. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool. So it wasn't scary at all, right?
Not really. I'd say the last 15, 20 minutes was a little, for, I don't know, 7 to 10-year-olds might be a little bit of a, they weren't expecting it to be that kind of scary, but there were a couple small jump scares, but mostly it was just kind of like a thriller.
Okay, so more like the Frighteners than anything else with that.
Like a lot like Frighteners.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm not a big horror movie fan, so. But I didn't imagine it was going to be because it's.
I like the 80s slasher, but I don't like Saw, and I don't like that kind of stuff now. Is just too much. But like Scream is fun. The Scream films are always fun because they're not really that bloody. They're just kind of, chasing the girls and catching, the dumb 80s stuff.
Right.
I enjoyed the hell out of Twisted Metal. I thought.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did mention that in my tweet.
I just finished it this morning. I loved it. It was not like what I was expecting at all at first. But like once you got used to the comedy style and like what they were going for like the show, you really like grew to like all the characters, and then you grew to like just laugh at everything because it was pretty over the top, but pretty funny. I liked it.
So when I tweeted out about today's show, I purposely mentioned Twisted Metal because on Twitter and Instagram I had seen like zero anybody talking about it, and I keep looking at Peacock going, the whole season's available. And so I was like thinking like, well, we'll just talk about who's seen it. So I'm curious to know in the chat, has anybody seen it besides Waze? Chris, did you see it?
No, I forgot that it existed until
I keep looking at it because like
there's a trailer for the Gran Turismo movie in front of it, and my buddy I was with was like, "Oh yeah, hey, did you watch Twisted Metal?" And I was like, "No, I forgot that was even a thing." I watched it last night, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
It was fun. I really dug it, and like the whole entire cast is really good. They found a way to incorporate all of the characters from the original game, but then set it up for a season 2 with which would be more like the video game than this was. This was like kind of the setup of the world and like the scope of things, and I thought they did a phenomenal job. I'm just shocked that they don't have a game. Like if they knew this was coming, they should have released game and had a game ready to go for this because especially when
was the last Twisted Metal out, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, more than that. It was like PlayStation 2, I think. Like that was it was a long time, and like I think they only did 2 of them, Twisted Metal 1 and 2. Maybe there was a third one.
I think there's one called Twisted Metal Fury or something.
Okay, but if they did like something like an open world like GTA, like with the Twisted Metal universe, and especially the way they did the show, like if they could incorporate those elements and do like an open world game, it would be phenomenal. So like I'm just shocked that like after seeing this show and seeing like what they put into it, I'm surprised they didn't have a game ready to go along with it because it makes for a perfect like companion piece with this show.
Right. Hey, so Mr. B's talking about this Fortnite boat. I just want to show that really quick, okay? So he sent it to me. And because I can't really, I'm seeing it on my phone, but I wanted to show it off. Yeah, it looks fantastic, man.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
There's a lot of people at this boat and are doing stuff with it.
Yeah, Josh got one too, and saw him painted up to match it as like Copperhead's colors too, like that.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
Yeah, that looks good. That's
well, once again, it proves that if you make a decent vehicle or something, people will buy it if it's at a good price.
Oh yeah.
$10.
And it's like the right size and right scale. Like I was even saying that about that new Turtles playset. Have you seen that new like 3-story Turtles playset for the movie?
Yeah.
All that they would have had to do was not put the like the graffiti pictures of like the Fly and stuff on the wall, and you would have sold like hundreds more of those units because people would have bought it to use for their figures because it's just a brick wall with a sewer and a train station. Like it would have looked cool.
Yeah, so like
I don't
Jonathan
even
saying that.
remember seeing that boat at a store. Like one day, Ollie's just had a whole end cap of all this different Fortnite stuff I never saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the
I
Fortnite's just
sent Vern one.
yeah, and I got it. I haven't done anything with it yet. I just haven't had time. But it's interesting because like I was picking up a few Fortnite figures, and there was one of the last 6-inch ones I was actually interested in, but I was waiting for it to hit Target, and then all of a sudden, that whole area just started to dwindle away, and then the next thing you know, they were all in Ollie's, and I was like, oh well, we don't have those out here, so I guess I'll never see it. Right?
Yeah.
And they're literally just like flooded with them. Like you can buy any single Fortnite figure you want at Ollie's right now. Like mine around the corner has literally every one of them.
Yeah.
The boats sold really quick. Like once the boats came out and the sharks came out, they sold pretty quick. But otherwise, everything else is still sitting there.
So Jonathan's saying the reason why nobody's
5 hours away, so it's a day.
yeah, mine's like 27 or something like that because it's in Texas. But Jonathan's saying that nobody's talking about Twisted Metal because everybody's talking about the Secret Invasion and Witcher and how well Barbie's doing. Certain words I won't reach out.
Yeah, I mean, Secret Invasion was a huge
I like Secret
disappointment.
Invasion. Come on.
I just thought it was like there was no point to it at all. Like it didn't
Well,
have
the
anything
thing
to
is-
do with anything.
Well, the thing is because in the, you had to come up with a way to create the Super Scroll so that you have that character, right? Like so.
Yeah, but
This whole thing was just to introduce.
Are we talking spoilers?
Well, I'm pretty
if-
sure everybody's already rushed to watch it on Wednesday at like midnight.
Have you seen it, Chris? Because I don't want to spoil it if you haven't.
Honestly, I've given up on Marvel. I'm so far behind now that I could not catch up without like a couple of weeks of just watching. So
and you won't be able to because pretty soon Disney Plus is going to be pulling every show off of their service.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was like, who is Emilia Clarke supposed to be? She's not a character. There's no character like that in the books, like at all. So now she's the most powerful thing in existence, like in the Marvel universe.
Apparently, yeah.
She is the mother of dragons.
But now, like, she's got every superpower of every superhuman that exists. So, like, what does it matter? Like, I don't see the point in that. And like, what you're gonna get out of that? Okay, so you made this unstoppable Super Skrull character now that doesn't exist.
Super Skrull, of course, is for the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, but not the way they did Emilia Clarke. She's not a villain, so it's
right.
It was just the whole setup. Even once the director said that he was told by Marvel not to read the original Secret Invasion book, I knew this wasn't going to be good. Because if you're the director and you don't even, and then like the director didn't even know Rhodey, so like he's just given a theory of like, oh, Rhodey might have been a Skrull since Civil War, but like you're the director, you don't know if Rhodey was a Skrull since Civil War, or just it just, you could tell it was phoned in. It's the same Marvel formula of like the first couple episodes are going to be, to get you hooked onto the show, and then we're not going to do anything for the middle of the show, and then we're going to squeeze everything into the finale. And that's exactly
why I stopped watching. Honestly, I think I'm 6 or 7 movies behind now, and at least 3 seasons of TV behind.
Well, you're honestly not missing much from the movies or anything.
I watch it because I loved Loki, so I'll watch Loki too.
Loki was good.
I have no idea why it connects to anything else, and it's not that I don't want to. I just every time I'm like, I'm going to go watch Quantumania, and I'm like, or maybe not. Hi, Kitty.
Yeah, I don't blame you with that one. That one was one for me where like I've never been thrilled about any of the Ant-Man movies, and then
see, I like that because it's never, except for this last movie, it's never about saving the world.
Yeah,
it's saving like San Francisco or help his dog or something. That's the problem with superhero movies is everyone. You can't make the stakes higher and higher and higher until you get to a point where you can't. Who are you fighting now?
And that's basically what they did with this. Was like the stakes are supposed to be on a mass scale, but the show has nobody involved in it. So it's like, oh, this big
No.
thing that's supposed to change the whole world, and
That's
it's just Nick Fury. It's like, oh, okay.
That's because
Like,
Nick Fury's his ego was so big that he said, "I needed the Avengers for this other threat, but
yeah.
this one that can wipe out humanity, I think I'm going to handle by myself."
And then the way they did handle it was just making Emilia Clarke unstoppable. She's the new, like, I don't even know like what to call her because she's not a character from the books. So
But
it's just
I
like,
did like it. So,
Well, and
it was
she may or may not be involved in anything possibly going forward because I haven't heard her being cast in Loki 2. And
well, and that's the whole thing. That's my biggest gripe, I think, with what's going on in Marvel right now is like the big scope and the big storyline is supposed to be Secret Wars. The only movie that had anything to do with Secret Wars was Loki and then Quantumania, but now because of all the Jonathan Majors stuff, none of these other shows have anything to do with that. So it's like, oh, we're gonna do Secret Invasion with the Skrulls and the Kree, and then we're gonna go do Miss Marvel, but neither one of those movies are playing into Secret Wars or have a bigger story. So it's just like, what's the point of doing that to begin with?
Yeah, the Marvels don't seem. I saw another longer trailer for that yesterday. That actually looks pretty decent, but only because of that girl playing Miss Marvel. The girl.
Kamala Khan.
When I came home yesterday, I was like, I'm going to start that series because she's just adorable and looks like she's having a good time in this role.
Well, she's actually going to be taking over writing the Miss Marvel comic book. That was announced the other day.
That actress?
Yep, she's going to be co-writing the book with I forget who the other writer is, but she basically they relaunched her and brought her back to life in X-Men in the new Hellfire Gala. So
it's interesting, like how people who are getting some of these jobs. Yes, show us the shirt because we got the question about it.
Old school Galactica.
Yeah. Nice. So this how some of these characters or actors and stuff like that have this like multifaceted thing where they write and they act or something like that. And it wouldn't surprise me like that maybe she thought I'm going to be a writer. You know what I mean?
Well, she's apparently just a big fan of comics. Like that's why they cast her
to be able to write too, right? And like
that's why she's co-writing it with somebody.
Storyteller, and then ends up just happening to like get an acting gig or whatever, just get this acting gig. I mean, I think that's pretty good.
Well, like she's on like fan forums and stuff like that. Like that's why like she's actually like a legit fan and knows her Marvel stuff. So that she got the job, and then because she loves this character so much, they're going to allow her to write the book.
As we've seen in the past, fans don't make the best creative people.
Yeah.
Of somebody like Kevin Smith, who was supposedly a huge He-Man fan, gave us He-Man Revelations, whatever it was called.
Yeah, I like that.
You know,
I like that show. I know everybody else hated it, but I wasn't a He-Man fan before, so to me it was cool. I was like, oh, I like this one. This one's better than the original.
It's the 80s, and that I know that that series was based more on the little comic books that came with them, and not the television series.
Yeah, the classic mode.
The character choices were horrible. Every single character acted exactly the opposite that they should have been acting. But I hope she does well with it because she seems, what little I've seen of in the series.
I'm sorry. Connor, I'm currently working on a comic book based on a New Jersey guy whose superpowers defending Star Wars.
I fucking hate you, Connor. I fucking hate you. But
that's a full-time job when Ahsoka comes out.
Yeah. I've already been dealing with it, as you can see, Chris.
So these are my comics that I drew when I was younger. Wow. It's the Supersonics.
So
they have no resemblance to any characters at all. This guy right here does not look like a scout trooper with ram horns on his head in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Okay, but see, here's my thing. You always say, I'm the one that doesn't have talent in the family. But look at that. Come on, don't give me that.
Untalented one.
Yeah, he tries to play that he's the one out of his siblings that, oh, my brother's successful, my sister's a successful writer.
I don't have any.
Come on, give me a break.
So on Twitter the other day, man, who was it? He was posting like, join on if you were making up your own stories with your figures when you were a kid. I don't know if you guys jumped on that. I was thinking about it. I was looking for a picture of these comics because when me and my friends were little, we would be playing with our action figures. They were all mismatched together, right? It didn't matter which universe they were from or whatever, but they all like took part. And I was thinking about his thread, everybody talking about it, and me and my friends used to play, and then we would then take those characters and make comic books out of them. And the way we did it was we had like some core characters that we each created, and I would do books with my characters where their characters were like guests, and they would do books with like their characters where my characters would be guests and Steve's characters, like three of us. We used to do these little comics and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Coming up with stories and then having to tie them into each other. It was difficult too. So I can't imagine, like, I'm just referencing back to the whole Marvel, how, it just seems like they've run out of a plan. It's hard to tie it all together. I
think losing the core cast and the people that built the original franchise, like, if you didn't have anything planned and you didn't know where to go, or you thought you were going to do like this soft reset to kind of stretch things out more, then you should have maybe took a gap in things and like, all right, we ended at Endgame, and then we're going to take a year or two off, and then we're going to come back. But
do you think that it's just overload right now? Like, because isn't that what Disney's saying? They're going to pull back, right?
So like they need to pull back on Marvel, but they need to keep going on Star Wars, because Star Wars, like when Iger made those comments and he grouped Star Wars into it, I was like, I don't think you're right because you're not oversaturating the market with Star Wars content. We've only had 4 shows.
Well, so. I think what they're, and this is what I think. It's just my opinion. I think the shows are taking away from the desire for people to want to go to the theater and see a movie. So what they're afraid is that
anything on streaming is doing that, though. That's what I mean.
Well, if you had Disney Plus and you could watch The Mandalorian, then the Book of Boba Fett, then Ahsoka, and then Andor, and you had all the Star Wars content going, and then all of a sudden there's a big Star Wars movie in the theater, right? There's a lot of people who would just be like, yeah, I can wait. But that's everything. There was nothing on streaming for like a year leading up to this Star Wars movie, and that was going to be a Christmas time event, let's say, kind of like when Force Awakens came out. I think you'd get a huge draw to the theater for a Star Wars movie when there hasn't really been any Star Wars for a while.
And I don't think so. I think you still run into people that are gonna go, well, I can watch it on streaming in 3 months.
Well, maybe they won't put it on streaming in 3 months.
There's no way Star Wars fans would be there if there had been like a 2-year that we had no.
I would be there
if there was no content between Rise of Skywalker and whatever they put out in another year or so, and we've gone 5 years without a Star Wars movie. The lines would be backed up. Well, there wouldn't be lines because we all buy tickets online anyway. But every theater would be full because we want new Star Wars content.
Yeah, if
we're oversaturated, I think we're oversaturated with subpar content.
That I agree with. It's because I don't think some of it's subpar. Like with Andor, I really did appreciate Andor. I think the problem with that was it would have been a way better movie than a show. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because the pacing would have just been a lot faster. Mm-hmm. You would have got the same story without having to build out 8-10 episodes or whatever it was. And they just had to add so much more.
You cut 2 of those out.
Yeah.
And Kenobi should have been a movie.
And Kenobi could have been a movie, much faster paced. I think all of those series could have really been paced down to like a movie, and I think they would have been fantastic.
Book of Boba easily
Mando works as a TV show.
Yeah.
The way they structured Boba, it was structured.
And then seeing those Vespas on a big screen would have just been phenomenal.
It would have been so colored and 70 millimeter IMAX.
Can you imagine? Like, I just imagine if the Book of Boba Fett was cut to be a movie, maybe they would have did it in that grindhouse style, where they would have did like the grungy kind of filters or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could have been like a really good way to do that as a movie.
Yeah, I still think Book of Boba Fett could have been. I still think it needed to be re-edited, and then the show should have started with him in the Sarlacc pit and done
chronological,
done everything with the Tuscans, and then tied us into the Mandalorian, then did the stuff inside Mos Espa. And I think it would have run better if without it. It just you have the stupid. I have to go to the back of tank. Why?
Yeah, the one thing about the Book of Boba Fett that I will say is my biggest complaint is that when Cad Bane reveals to him that he killed the wrong people, that he didn't personally go take care of the right people.
Yeah.
He let somebody else. He did. Fennec Shand do it, and to me, I'm like, no, there's no way. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things with that. There's a lot of things with Kenobi too. But you just got to enjoy it for what it is at this point, because it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right, like we can hope that they do a Boba season 2, but I don't think it's happening now with everything going on. I think whatever other things planned, even that Lando show, there's no point for that Lando show at all.
I think Solo should have been Lando. Can you imagine
a whole movie
about Lando instead of Solo, and then basically Lando walks into a bar, sits down at a table, he's playing, you don't really see who he's playing against, and he loses the Falcon, and they pan over, and it's Han Solo. And that's the end of the movie. Cut to credits, right? Like,
I think though, if you're gonna do Lando, it needs to be Solo too. It needs to basically have those same characters involved in it. If not, like, who cares?
Well, they're gonna do his backstory. They'll do his.
For what? Like, what's it important for?
No, I this from the day that show was introduced. Lando needs to be the young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
There you go. I agree with that.
Williams walk into a bar, sit down, be playing cards like you said, but then he's like, "Oh, this one time in Mos Espa," and then
that was the original plan.
And but now I think that show's dead. There's been no movement on it for years.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to pan out at all. And if it does, Billy D's not going to be. You saw him at Celebration this year. He's not there.
That's why he can't. Why it can't happen like that anymore. But that's, like they keep saying, there's not going to be any more Indiana Jones. Make it animated.
Harrison Ford scanned himself, so it'll be Indiana Jones AI. That's
fine too. I'll watch another Indiana Jones movie like that. The first 25 minutes of the new one were incredible. The
first setup was good.
Yeah. I mean, they're de-aging 3 different actors on screen at the same time. It's just amazing what they can do. Now, the TikToks with like Eric Cartman or the Battle Droid singing different songs, that scares me because I don't understand how that works.
Supposedly, there's some sort of a social media influencer that is complete AI.
Wow, really?
They run it completely on AI, and it's got sponsors and everything. And the company that runs it, it's basically just like they created like a model, and then the thing just makes its own posts and all that kind of stuff, and then superimposes itself in pictures with celebrities. And
when you're on a website and it says, "Are you a robot?" Do you ever just pause for a moment and say, "What if I am?"
I'm a human robot. Anyways, I'm going to do this. This is San Diego Comic-Con was last week. It was a lot of fun, even though I didn't get to go inside. There were a lot of reveals at Comic-Con for action figures. There's a few of them on this thing, but the biggest announcement at Comic-Con, I think, is the HasLab.
Woohoo!
And it skyrocketed to 8,000, but it's only at what was at like 8,800 last night. So I didn't see what the current number is this morning, But what do you guys think? Do you think like it has the legs to just grab every tier at $500?
No,
No.
I think it. I think
17
you're
is a lot.
lucky if you get Ezra. Like you're lucky if you reach 12,000. I think.
It's going to hit 9,000 in the next few minutes. It's at 8,994.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be lucky if you get Ezra. Like you're not hitting the other two.
All right, so but it is pretty incredible. I mean, look at all the detailing in there. I think they did a really good job on this. I was so surprised that they actually had the mock-up there.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen it in person, but just looking at the pictures and some of the videos, Imperial Communique did a video where they highlighted it. I think that was it looked fantastic. They obviously, to me, seem very excited about it.
Yeah, they put a lot of work into it. It looks great. The model is fantastic, and it's
34 inches long.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And then Jonathan saying that he thought it would fund much quicker and get all the tiers in a week. Yeah, I thought at least we'd be at like the first tier. Look at the break apart on that. I mean, like there's so many pieces that come on.
Here, I only think it funded so fast because a lot of the people that are backing it bought multiples of them.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Like resell?
Because that's all that they were doing was posting the same people in the community were posting the same thing over and over, like trying to entice people to buy it. But after just coming off the GIJoe HasLab, after just coming off Comic-Con and the wave of stuff that just shipped to everybody these past 2 weeks, you can't expect that 17,000 people are going to rush out to back this.
See, that is one thing I don't understand what Hasbro doesn't get. Remember, what was it last year or the year before when we had the
two running at once?
And there were 3 of them running. There was a Ghostbusters one, a GIJoe one, and Star Wars. You have to space this stuff. You can't do what is it? What's the GIJoe one?
Classified.
Sky Striker.
Sky Striker, the plane.
The plane, the helicopter.
Oh,
Dragonfly.
Can't have the Dragonfly last month and then this month drop another $500 thing on us.
I think the problem isn't just the HasLabs either. It's kind of what Wei said, right? Like how many classified figures are now announced or up for pre-order? How many Marvel Legends are out and up for pre-order? How many Star Wars figures are out and up for pre-order? And then in addition to that, they want another $500 from people.
Yeah.
And it's just not
like do the math.
If they spaced this out, it would have been a different outcome. And they don't realize that I think in their head, they think, oh, well, only certain people collect this and certain people collect this. But a lot of times it's people like all 3 of us that I collect this, and I collect this. Yeah. So I have overlap in certain things. And then some months it gets real bad, like this month where we had a tidal wave of everything. So it wasn't just Star Wars coming. It was Star Wars, it was GIJoe, it was Marvel Legends, all coming at once. And 50 things all got released at once.
The part that sucked about it was Dragonfly closed and they collected the funds for. And then it was like Chuckles, Fire Team 77, whatever, and then it was another few $100 if you were going to get every GIJoe.
Yeah.
So these are part of the package. So that's part of the deal.
I think these are the tiers too, only because I know the old school collectors are the TVC collectors, but the new school collectors are the Black Series collectors. So it's a weird divide where there's not as many TVC collectors as there are Black Series, and the numbers show that the data shows that.
Figures, if they actually put figures out on the shelves for me to buy.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing too. Is you guys don't get a lot of products, so now it seemed that for Comic-Con this year they went really heavy on TVC. And we only got 3 figures announced for Black Series, and it was oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know if that's shooting themselves in the foot or what.
So are we missing a figure here, or a figure or 2?
Yes,
in the tiers.
The Mandalorian chick, but she's a deluxe figure. She's a separate package. And of course, you're on Chopper.
But should we have also got those figures in cards? Should these tiers have been maybe 2 figures in each tier?
That's how I said it. When people said that the ghost was going to be, I was like, there's 6 characters.
Yep.
Say the ghost comes with Chopper just because.
Yep.
And then you get, you get a Hera and Kanan, and you get, Zeb, and you get Ezra, and you get, the other chick, I can't remember her name, and you get it with each fund.
Yeah.
And not going to 17,000, you're looking at 16,000, which I think is reachable.
Right.
Yeah, I think just because like all it is just one figure per tier. That's why I don't think it's going to reach 17. I think you're going to have a hard time getting 17,000 people.
It's going to be hard. I think that it funded so quickly because Star Wars collectors are worried that if they don't fund a HasLab,
that's
Star Wars
the whole
lines will suffer afterwards. That's what I really think.
Especially TVC collectors. They've been pushing this agenda for months now about when the HasLab comes out, you have to back it because if you don't, they're not going to keep making TVC stuff. And it's like, all right, but you're going to rush out, you're going to back this, and you're going to show a false demand for TVC that's probably still not there. And now they're going to lean towards that way and suffer the other way.
Yeah, I do think it looks fantastic. I think they did a great job. It's got a lot going for it. But that's exactly what I think. I think that it immediately funded because Star Wars collectors were afraid that if they don't back and this one didn't fund, you're going to have problems in the future for the Star Wars line.
And you had people like Yak Face and people like those influencers that were saying that, like, back this or else we're not going to get to this stuff anymore. It's like,
Joseph is calling it collectors guilt shaming.
Pretty much. That's basically what it was. It was just influencers trying to influence people to buy this. And that's why I think most of them were the ones who bought multiples of this to fund it.
Yeah. So anyways, I do think that everything was good. I wish that they would have did something different with the tiers, like maybe 2 of the carded figures for each tier. I think that would have been more like a better deal because they are vintage collection. They're not as big, the figures.
Are either of you guys in on this? Or either of you guys back this?
No. You are, Chris?
Thing.
Okay. And Waze, you said no, right?
No, I'm a huge Rebels fan. I love everything about Rebels, but
and because I've seen every episode of Rebels, I am 100% not in on. You guys know that I have a really hard time watching these animated shows, so I mean I really have zero attachment. It may change after Ahsoka if we see the ship in live action or whatever. I might get like a different feel for it, and some of the characters I might be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But these are still based on the animated show, so I mean maybe not for me.
See, for me, I would keep this in box probably more than likely. So like it would just be one expensive box sitting on the shelf, and I don't collect PVC, so for me it's something that I probably shouldn't be spending $500 on.
And you
especially when I'm moving.
There were rocks in that box.
And like I'm moving the week that closes for the deadline, so like they're going to be taking the money the week I'm moving. I can't. There's no way.
Yeah. Still, it looks fantastic. 34 inches.
Oh, yeah, it looks great. And the only thing that me and Eric were talking about was the fact that they branded the box and the ship for Ahsoka, but the figures are all branded Rebels, even though they're all made to look like their live action looks. So it's a very confusing, like, way they picked and choose. And like, yeah, that was the only thing.
All right. So anyways, then we got another crowdfund.
Well, apparently one figure out of the ordinary, because unless they're doing a flashback, Kanan's not in Ahsoka.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. And like the fact that they tried to use, like, they probably should have just used Freddie Prinze Jr.'s likeness for the Kanan figure, which I'm not sure they may have. I didn't really get a good look at it, but yeah, the Ezra looks like Amon Esfandi, and then the Zeb looks like the live action Zeb, just in the Rebels gear. So it's very, very strange, like, choices for it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to come back to this comment when we are going through the hot or not. Connor's talking about the Life Day Chewie, but we're not there yet. But anyways, so the other crowdfund, the Mattel Creations Jurassic Park, I'm guessing didn't fund, so we're not even showing that anymore. But Super 7 has this Thundercats Cat Slayer. I don't know if it's it says backers, but it says pre-order. So is this a crowdfund and it's just a different way to like model it?
Yes.
Okay.
it's still crowdfunding, but it's actually on a layaway program. So
So what
instead,
I'm asking is, if we don't get to the goal, will the other backers still get one?
no, they'll refund all the money, just like they do everything. Super 7 is moving to a new system where they're going to start pre-selling stuff. Wait, they've been doing it for a while, but what they haven't told you is what the numbers you're supposed to hit.
Okay.
So recently they had to cancel some Power Rangers Ultimates and some
of
Just
the
because
Disney figures, right?
They didn't hit their production number.
yeah.
Okay.
So now what they're going to do is they're going to tell you what the end numbers they want,
Okay.
and
So
then
this,
we can get there.
is there like a time frame for this? Oh, okay. It says 51. Okay, so 51 days. It looks like they're almost to their original first goal. There's 2 tiers, and here's the tier 1 unlock. I didn't do the early bonus picture because, I mean, it's a key. I don't know what that does. But this is like some sort of a lab table with some lab stuff and the glove and a sword. And I'm like, okay, well, shouldn't the sword come with Lionel or whatever, Lion-O, whatever? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so what do you need that extra sword for? Is that like or is that a bigger sword for you to wear? Is that a glove for you to wear? Where's the glove? You know, I'd like to know the sizing on this stuff. But anyways, then the second bonus tier is this Lion-O, and he comes with a glove and a sword. So basically, if everything funds, you get this table with all this stuff. You get 2 swords, 2 gloves. Is that what I'm getting wrong?
One of the swords is the short sword.
Is that what the difference is? What's the difference between the glove? Oh, one's like glowing and one's not glowing?
Yeah. The other that's a normal glove for your figure to hold that sword, which the other one didn't have. And then the figure is a like hollow, astral protection it says, but it's hologram type thing.
So are you backing this as well?
No, because I didn't buy any of the Thundercats.
So the one person in the chat, Jonathan Redmond, he's 100% in on this.
Yeah,
I'm
subbar 7.
He's probably ordering 4. I think if you look at this, it has
figures.
Was that 2,300 backers? That's all him.
Yeah, he bought them all.
Yep. I don't know anything about Thundercats. Like I don't even think I've ever watched the show.
The coolest thing about this is
about it.
If they are really for the Ultimates, I can just picture my GIJoes in there.
Well, yeah, it would work. You would just really not be able to turn it around. You could use this side of it though for stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you could use the other side. It would look cool, but to have like a command center and stuff like that, I think it would be really cool. I didn't pull all the pictures down. I just don't. Yeah, John are back 2 of these. I don't think it's gonna. It may fund at the minimum level. I think there's quite a few people who are into the Super 7 stuff. I don't know.
They sold those giant cars, and so I mean,
it's amazing.
They'll probably sell this. I didn't even, like I said, I don't know anybody who's a Thundercats fan, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm just not sold on it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the hot or not section. Okay, so these are going to be the reveals from the week. I think I just concentrated on what was announced by Hasbro. I didn't pick any McFarlane's or anything like that, just for time and stuff like that. We do like to keep to 2 hours, so I know we got about 45 minutes. We're going to see if we make it. We can go a little bit over, but it just depends on the conversations that ensue, right? We're going to be talking about the HasLabs and the cost. So what I did was I'm going to pull up my calculator right here, and as we go through, I'm going to type in like the prices for everything and then tell you how much money you spent if you bought every single thing that was revealed. You may not want to see that number, but we're going to show it to you anyways.
Yeah.
So these are coming up for pre-order right away.
Next Thursday.
So this is the Wolverine. It's the classic carded 97 X-Men show, whatever. I think it looks good. Did anybody bother doing a comparison between this one and like the VHS one and see like what the differences were and stuff like that?
No,
I passed on that VHS line, so I'm happy for these.
Are we going to call these $28?
No, are they? Are they 20,
Yeah.
27?
Yeah, well, $27.99. So we're just gonna call them 20.
Are they really 27 though?
I think that they are gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm shocked at that. That's interesting.
Connor's asking if we need a spreadsheet.
Spider-Man one was these ones that just came out. They're 24.
Well, let me look. Let me look. I got an email from them, and with the links to the stuff, and it says, "Oh, you know what? It actually doesn't say."
Spider-Mans are 24.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I would assume these to be 24 too.
Marvels.
They're not exclusive.
Okay. Oh, the team up pack. No, that's a team up pack. Okay, $24.99. So we'll just go 25. So they're calling suggested retail 24. So let me go back. 25. I'll just call it 25. Okay. So there's the Wolverine. You say you're 100% in on them. I think they look fantastic. I love the multiple heads for Wolverine. I think he looks great. I already have this yellow outfitted Wolverine, so it's going to be hard pressed for me to like have to get another one. Chris, you don't collect these?
No, I do when they go clearance.
Okay, so clearance.
They're on cards.
I think I'm gonna keep these on card. Yeah, I think this because so like I buy the Spider-Man ones and I keep them mock just because I for me this is the packaging and stuff that like I grew up on as a kid. So it's like more nostalgia reasons to keep these on card for me. But I'm gonna probably do the same with all of these.
Did they show a trailer for the show at San Diego Con?
I didn't. I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. But did they show a trailer for the new X-Men?
Yeah, they showed it at the Hasbro breakfast like the morning before, and when they revealed some of these, and it looks like it's going to be cool. We should be getting a lot of cameos too from like a lot of the different people that are on the team. So
Jonathan says it's a pass for him because it's so soon after. GeForce is saying $27.99, but I did look at Hasbro's actual spec sheet, and they said suggested retail is going to be $24.99. But I imagine Target's will be like $28.
Or yours, kind of because they charge you more.
And then Storm.
That's nice.
Yeah, I think they look
nice
great.
Figure.
Yeah,
I think they look good.
Would have been nice to get like some lightning hands or something with her, but
yeah, I agree with that. Right.
Don't they have the Emperor's? You have the Emperor lightning hands. They could have just popped in there, changed the color.
Yep, and they're using them for Star Killer too. The Star Killer pack that's in RepulseCon. He comes with them the same exact ones.
Yeah, if you get the if you were to open this and you have like the different Storm, the one that they she has the lightning hands, which is actually pretty cool. So
that's a cool pack. I like
this is a cool pack. It's like $45.
The Parker looks really good. I know Connor Fuller in the chat. I know he ordered this because he wanted the Parker. I don't really care about Smythe, but the Parker. This is
Peter Parker and Kurt Russell with something coming out of his shoulders.
The sequel to Big Trouble in Little China we've been waiting for forever.
Yeah.
I think the Peter Parker looks pretty good. What I'm noticing is that the way that they're doing, the way that they did the body is very similar to the way they did that Banner body, where it's like a very slimmed body, seems very smooth. So,
is this from anything particular or just a random Peter?
What?
It's in the VHS set. This is the last of those sets. Yeah.
So this is a double pack. We got another Rogue here.
That's a nice Rogue.
Yeah, the thing is, I just have that other one with the leather jacket look, and I mean, I couldn't even imagine like getting another Rogue so soon, right?
Yeah. I don't have any of those. Like I never picked any of them up, so for me, like getting these and keeping them on card is fine. I'm cool with it. It looks
fantastic. I think it looks fantastic. I think that altogether this set is going to look really good.
Yeah, and then Dan Hume is already saying like wave 2 with a question mark.
Yeah,
like yes.
So we're looking at Bishop here. I think he looks pretty good too. Yeah,
I like the redesign of the character too, like giving him the short hair and everything.
I think it's a little bit different because of the jacket, but I'm going to have to take a closer look at the head GeForce to see if it's the same one. Jono was saying the neck is shorter.
It does look like a new tooling, yeah.
So then you got Magneto.
Hey, that
And
makes
you know what?
cool.
I can't tell you. I think I got two Magnetos and then the white Magneto. So I'm like, I don't know if I want another Magneto.
I just wish his helmet was removable. That's my only gripe whenever they do a Magneto is like,
Yeah,
why aren't you giving him just a removable helmet?
They
Like at
could
this point?
easily do that. It could
Easily.
do that.
And like, there's a great head you can order on Fantastic Four. Like, Casting Cave has them up from the Mongo release. They're just shrunk down.
Yeah.
So.
I love the throwing cards.
Yeah, and he came with those throwing cards before. So I mean, I think at the most they probably did like a head redo or something like that. But they just had that retro Gambit.
It's
so
cool though.
I mean, for Ways, I know you didn't pick them up, but Chris, you're still not interested in any of these unless you see them on clearance.
I'm a very spontaneous shopper, so I would probably buy that Magneto when I see it because it's cool, and I do like the Rogue and the Gambit are nice. But again, I think I can wait on Bishop and Storm for clearance.
Okay. Yeah, I would pass completely on that Storm because the Storm that I have is like my favorite one. That's the one where she has the long white hair and stuff like that. And the only other Storm that I want is where she's got the mohawk.
Yeah. I mean, you can, if you find this on clearance, you pick this up for the Storm with the mohawk head, and then you could just swap the.
Yeah, I guess. But then she doesn't have the leather jacket and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. You want the Apocalypse leg one.
And then we're looking at Blade.
So I don't usually pick up Legends like this, like when they come out, but I actually pre-ordered this. I pre-ordered Blade.
Yeah, so this
short to you?
I mean, a little bit.
Well, Wesley Snipes is short.
Well, yeah. I guess it is. Now, how far along into shooting was that series/movie thing before the writer's strike happened?
Oh, I don't know. That's been pushed back so many times now. I don't know if that's ever going to come out.
so this is the crazy part. Is Knights based on the movie then? This is supposed to be based on the movie?
So like everybody was reporting that when this came out that these were all supposed to be like this was supposed to be Wesley Snipes Blade, but it's not. It's like Marvel Knights. So like
it's a comic book.
The Midnight Suns, that. Okay. That's what these designs are all supposed to be from.
Now, to me, that would be like a cool like head swap for say like Roadblock or something like that. If you wanted to have like all your GI Joes on like some secret mission where they had to be in like stealthy plain clothes or something. I'm just looking for other things I can do with
the other way. Roadblock become a vampire.
Yeah. My buddy's a huge Blade fan, like so I picked up one for me and one for him.
They do look cool. I mean, like I'd be in for this guy right here.
Yeah.
What about Luke Cage?
That's a very original looking.
I'm telling you, this one is definitely one I'm gonna grab.
But I already have one that looks just sort of like that.
Is this the one that they released the images for like maybe like 4 or 5 months ago? Yeah. So this is the one that I'm definitely interested in getting because, man, I just think it looks fantastic.
Does he come with a crushed trash can?
No, that's a Build-A-Figure part. The Build-A-Figure will be at the end of the run here.
Okay. Yeah, I passed on. I don't need Luke Cage, but it looks cool.
I think it looks cool. What about this version of Iron Man? Now, normally I'd be like all over like a new Iron Man. Nah, not interested. Actually,
me either. I don't.
What?
I don't like the change in packaging.
It's because it's a Gamerverse. It's based on a video game, so it's this will probably.
It's called to build a figure from the other wave.
Yeah, it'll probably be part, and this is the weirdest part because it's part of the Build-A-Figure wave. Do you have to go to GameStop to get this guy?
No, because it's mainline now. That's what they're doing with gamer stuff. It's all like
all mainline.
Star Wars. Yeah,
luckily,
it's all
right?
Okay.
Okay. Daredevil.
That's a good looking Daredevil.
That's literally the only reason I bought this Elektra the other day was because I had no plans on picking this up. But as soon as he showed that off, I was like, well, I need
Now you need Electra, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So G-Force, the atmosphere suit. Yeah. The Iron Man looks good. I just can't put another Iron Man in my Hall of Armor. It's just not gonna work. Hot on Daredevil. Yeah. Yeah, Daredevil looks good. I think I probably picked that one up too. And then what about
nice.
Lady Blue Bullseye?
Wow.
She looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm not picking her up, but she does look cool.
I really $6 at Target, because that screams peg warmer to people who don't know stuff.
Oh
so
yeah.
So for like $12.50, I can pair this one up, and man, I think I would in photos maybe pit her against Shang-Chi or something like that.
That would be cool. Yeah.
And G-Force is hot on that one.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely a cool figure, and she needed to be made anyway. Like they needed her. This is all reused though. This one.
The Fist Ninja. Yeah, the thing is, it's a new face though, right? Because they added that extra head with the skull. The other.
Well, it's not new though. That skull comes with magic. It's the same one. They just colored it white.
Oh, and then put a hood on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But the arm. So the paint schemes are different. But this is the hand ninja.
Yeah, okay. The hand ninja.
Okay, so I got a couple of those because I wanted to increase the height of my stilt man, and then I ended up sitting him on a shelf without his stilts.
That's why I got stuck with 2 extra hand ninjas, because I bought them thinking you needed stilt legs, and then you didn't need them. So
I'm going to show you this thing. In my comic books, let's see if I have them here, because I don't have all of them. Anyways, so one of my main characters that was a villain in my comics I drew as a kid was a character named Dr. Skull, and he basically wore like a hood like this and had like a cloak, and it was a skull head like that, and he would shoot these like death rays or whatever out of his eyes. So I don't know, maybe if I ever thought like making a bunch of customs based on my original comic characters, you might
be able to find these cheap too, but I think people are going to want these to army build with that Daredevil and Elektra probably too, I'm sure.
Skeletor Ninja.
Because this is like when Matt's like in charge of the hand, so like they work for Matt at that point.
Right. What about Clea here? I'm thinking this is kind of like Mantis, right? Like an interesting character to get, but
I think that head sculpt's gonna look good on if you want to fix your Emma Frost that just came out. That new Emma Frost that came out that's got the really ugly head. This one will make a better one for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be kind of cool, even on like a Baroness maybe.
Yeah, she got a good like body to use too, the upper body and the legs and stuff. So this one might be like a clearance pickup for me, just for like fodder and stuff like that.
That's true. Of course, according to Super John, we'd be making these figures worthless by doing any of that stuff that we talk about.
Keep doing that. It makes my collection worth even more. Open everything you want.
This is the Build-A-Figure on that wave. So if you're interested in building this gigantic dude to battle against your new Gray Hulk, then you would have to collect the entire wave to do so.
Yeah. I thought it was like a supercharged like Juggernaut or something, but then I saw what it was and I was like, oh okay. Like that's just a weird one, but I guess you can army build these. So
yeah. All right, so that is the Marvel, and then of course we got this Christmas collection. Anybody interested in any of these?
If I could ever find any of these Christmas ones, I buy them, but I do not ever find them.
Yeah, so I've been pretty good about getting the ones online. I missed one last year. I think this, out of these ones right here, there's only one that I'd be interested in, and it's the Jawa, just because I think the other two are kind of.
I just will buy like 5 of the Jawas.
Yeah.
Alone.
See, I'll probably buy the Ewok and just repaint it, and because like I could always use more Ewoks in the
that's true.
Yep. So just like painting the blue on the hands and the legs and changing the green to brown or whatever. There you go. You got another Ewok.
And you don't even have to do a whole lot of brown too. So you can make them like an older Ewok with like some grays. Yeah.
If I buy,
you can keep the cool, you know.
What? Sorry.
If I buy 2, I'll buy all 3. So I'm going to buy the Ewok and the Jawa. So I've got to have the whatever his name is with the little droid.
Yeah. This is
Rogue One guy.
K2SO or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, 3 more. And these are
I will buy all of.
these are actually all the ones that I'm actually interested in. That's why I put them on one
Wow,
screen.
I love that Nutcracker Stormtrooper at the
I'm
end.
telling you, that guy looks really cool. That
Yeah, they
guy
do.
looks cool. And then the Snow Trooper, to me, just looks phenomenal. I will love to have that dude.
Yeah, they did a good job with these ones, actually, like trying to make
Nerf gun, one of those big Nerf guns. It's all, yeah, I'll buy all these.
Yeah, I do. Those 2 on the end look fantastic. And of course, the Mando armor just looks cool to me.
Yeah, I'm buying 2 of each of these, in fact, because I've got to open them.
Jonathan Santa paint deco is awesome. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
No, that was a big thing last year.
This time they're actually coming before Christmas.
A lot of people got into those Santa figures from Big Bad Toy Store last year, and then there's another wave of them coming out this year.
I have not gotten one of them yet.
And then a lot of people like building a Christmas display with their figures, which was cool. Like it's a nice little thing to add to your Christmas stuff. Yeah.
Did they walk away from Halloween this year? Is there not a Halloween figure?
I didn't see anything for Halloween. Maybe they just didn't go over very well, or maybe nobody could get them because
I never found it. I wanted it. I ordered it. It was canceled.
The Wookiee I ended up getting from Entertainment Earth, but he came in like March.
Yeah. Yeah.
Collecting with Cool, I don't know which one is a store exclusive. All I know were the announcements. I'd have to read.
Yeah, I don't think they said. I don't think they gave us stores for it. So this year they might be a regular release. I'm not sure.
I hope so. Or it would be cool if you could just buy the whole wave together.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Big Bad Toys and see if they have the all 6 together for one.
Yeah.
So this is a re-release of Ahsoka, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just like the one we already have.
Me and Jono had gotten into a debate where I thought, because for the Ahsoka show, they did extend her head tails and her light coupe. So practical effect wise, she did get some changes to her costume, but this is the same exact figure that we already have. I thought they at least gave her a new head sculpt and it was still on the same body, but it's just recolored. It's the gauntlets on her arms are slightly different colors. That's it. That's the only difference on it.
Yeah. And then are you in for this?
Yeah, Kara. I just wish she would have came with the Calicori. They gave the TVC one the Calicori, so it would have been nice for her to come with it too. It's only come out in the Thrawn set, which I have, but it would have been nice for them to include that with her.
Yeah, I agree.
Dear God, I think give us accessories with a figure.
You know, when Star Wars, for whatever reason though, they're just getting worse and worse. Where it's just we're just gonna give you one little thing with it, and well, then if you're gonna do that, then you need to. And I don't understand. All right, give us Build-A-Figures then. Give us Star Wars Build-A-Figures if you're gonna do that.
One thing, they won't do it. They won't do it. They're just figure and maybe the pistol.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Let's see, Jonathan. Ways that's very odd way of saying I was right and you were not.
Oh no, Jono, you were right, 100% right. I said that multiple times in the group chat that Jono was 100% right. I agree with them. I was wrong. I thought they gave her a total new head sculpt, and I was arguing with him. I was like, "No, I'm telling you, there's a new head." And then once somebody posted the pictures of the clear shot in the case, once they put them out, I went a side by side with my figure, and I was like, "Oh wait, they are the exact same." So no, Jono was 100% right. I give him full credit.
So they got a new art. They got the R2 that they're re-releasing, and the one thing that I didn't notice, does it have a lightsaber?
No.
See, and I'm just wondering, the Black Series has never made an R2 where a lightsaber will fit down in there like they did with that classic. And when
only
the 40th year,
only on the
vintage,
what was it? The New Harp? No, the New Hope R2 came with the lightsaber, but it didn't actually go in. It just
that's what I'm saying.
It corded in the top.
To have a little launching lightsaber or a way to fit one in there, especially this year.
And especially you could hit the button and it would shoot out. That would be cool.
The 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and we can't do one extra thing with this R2-D2.
And the fact that this one didn't sell out, you could still get this one everywhere, but the card-backed one for Return of the Jedi is sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Same R2. This is just the new body.
Okay, so G-Force is all in on the clean R2. I'm not bagging on R2 because everybody needs a droid.
I bought See, I bought two of the Return of the Jedi ones just because I needed, I wanted to change out my R2s that I had with the newer mold. So I might pick this one up too, just to have like another one. But more than likely, I'll wait this one out.
I just wish like they would do one thing. Like I have these like little R2s that are like older vintage collection or whatever that scale was. And they have these like little batteries in them. You push them and the little light lights up and he makes
that would be awesome. Even the SH, not SH Figure Arts, the Sideshow, like the 1/6 scale ones, they fully light up. They make noises and all kinds of stuff. So
choking hazard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but no kids are buying these, so they don't have to worry about it. All right, here you go. What about? I think I'm going to get all the live action versions.
Yeah, I am too. I'm definitely in on Sabine. This looks good. I'm hoping they're going to do like her long-haired look in the Rebel outfit too. That would be sweet to get like both versions of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wish they would. So like they did this one, and then they did the TVC version of her, right, which is billed as a deluxe. And it comes with a Loth cat and the cross bag. So like, why couldn't we just get the Loth cat and the cross bag with her too? Like,
because this one comes with a removable helmet.
So does the TVC one.
Offer you can have Loth cats. You can't have both.
I'm asking for too much, Chris. That's what we're saying.
Jonathan thinks the Return of the Jedi R2 comes with a bunch of accessories. He might be right.
They do. They both come with the same like a bunch of different attachments that go in. Just no lightsaber. That was
what
the
about
only
Paz Vizsla or repainted Jango Fett?
I hate that they use this body. Like that was my big gripe with it. Is like why can't you retire this Jango Fett body? Because it's horrible.
But is this is this the actual original Jango body that they used with those two new Mandas, or is this the upgraded? No. When they re-released.
This is the original like Jango body that they used for the Mandalorian troopers, the Super Commando and the
wait to get it because I might be surprised.
And I'm also shocked. So remind me when he got the scar under his eye, because I don't remember it being like a hugely defined scar. And like if you look at the picture with his helmet off, they like gave him like a full cut across his face, and like it's very strange. The TVC version of this looks way much better than this one.
All right, and then of course, well, I guess that takes us out. So I did not do any of the vintage collection figures. I'm sorry to all of the vintage collection collectors out there. It was just too much. This is what I would collect. So
I was shocked though that they went. So like that was one of the things that caught me off guard, was that they went like really. I guess because of the TVC HasLab, they really had some stuff that they wanted to get out along with it. So they really leaned into TVC hard this year.
All right, so that's why, and it is now immediately going to GIJoe. Okay, so sorry, that is Star Wars for the day. G-Force is giving me the big boo. Everybody can give me the We're going to move on to GIJoe now. All right, so this is Heatseek.
This is sick. And the fact that it matches with the his tank and can attach to the tow hitch on the his tank, genius idea.
So what did they say was the price point for a vehicle piece?
This should be $44. Yeah, 44. Because at least we know with GIJoe, we have 3 set price tiers, and each thing is justified by how much stuff it comes with, which is what we should be getting across the board with Hasbro. And I don't understand why it's so complex for them to nail that down.
Well, just because they just arbitrarily decide when something they think is worth more.
It's just like, oh, we're going to charge $70 for this one figure, and it's like, why? Because it comes with an alternate head. What? I can buy a GIJoe that comes with 50 things and I'm paying $24? Like what?
So I'm imagining this is not going to be 45.
I would still say this is going to be reasonably priced though.
So we'll just call it 45 because we don't know yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be probably in the $65 range.
Yeah.
$65, $70 probably. Yeah, that's what I would say.
29 is, I think.
But now, did you hear what Emily did you hear what Emily and Lenny had said about this?
No.
In the interview so they did an interview with Foosh that GIJoe shared in the group chat, and they basically said This was them sticking it to Valaverse. They basically said that they're going to have build-up packs and accessory packs and swappable add-ons for this. So expect different versions of this made for different different things.
That's basically what they said. They said it's on.
Yeah, they basically said like we're making a cheaper model than what Valaverse is going to be able to give you, and we're going to be able to redo this in multiple versions and multiple colors and for different things. So between those different versions, we're gonna have different build-up and accessories that go with the thing, and then you can swap everything out depending on how you want to. So really cool.
I'm saying for $65, it's still, I think, a pretty good deal. It looks like you can fit 3 figures, right? 2 in the front, maybe 1 on the back with that rifle. Maybe if they do a second type of like a turret up there, you could do something else. It looks like it's got some pretty decent accessories that are going to come with it. I already have a fire extinguisher that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, so I don't need that. But overall, I mean, it's just surprising to see it. And what you said makes 100% sense because, man, they are just taking their competition and they're just saying, okay, well, let's see what we can do. And we are going to do it with an iconic vehicle that people know what it is.
And it was interesting too because Emily basically said like they have the full advantage that they can do all of these vehicles at retail and don't need to make them his tanks. Lenny even said Thunder Machine without being a HasLab. So like that's fantastic, dude. If we're gonna start getting stuff like that from them, and they toyed with the idea of re-releasing the his tank as a repaint with less features and less stuff with it, and no electronics, no lights, no nothing. It just being a straight his tank with maybe one figure included at retail. So that was another thing that they were.
That's going to burn a lot of people.
I get it, but you're going to want anybody who got one, they're going to want more to army build. Especially but now with all of the other stuff that they're incorporating with it.
The problem is when they release it at retail, it's going to be like $150, and that's going to burn a lot of people.
But like I said, it's going to come with a lot less stuff and no electronics in it, no lights and sounds like the other one has. So it's going to be dumbed down version.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I really want to see how it scales and if it's going to be like a subcompact type of a vehicle where it fits the figure but doesn't really look like it would have been to scale, or if it actually scales decently. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Then we got General Hawk.
He looks awesome. They did a really good job.
This is a classic look for him. Chris, do you collect any of these Joes, by the way?
When they hit clearance, but not really. I'm a 3 3/4 inch guy.
I'm sorry, I missed all the vintage collection then.
That's what I'm leaving. I went to the bathroom. I came back and it was over.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to General Hawk. I think it's.
I am too.
I'm glad they didn't do it with the Dragonfly, this version.
My only other problem with the Joes is I hate the box art.
Yeah, but that should go away next year when they start doing the open box.
Yeah, which might push me back into them.
My thing is the alternate artist. So I like when the one artist does stuff, but when they have like the cartoony artist,
the cartoons
it's like, dude, you're the whole like uniformity of the line changes whenever you get one of those boxes, and it's
I think they're using the Shooting the Galaxies pictures now, right? The diorama shots, and then of course this is what I'm waiting for. When is this going to be available?
This is the PulseCon exclusive.
So when was that available? Friday? Because that's what you said.
September 23rd or whatever is PulseCon.
Because I asked when the PulseCons were going to be, and it was, I was waiting all day yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was just the regular exclusives. This and the Star Killer go on sale
Is
on
this 90?
See, I don't know why Hasbro doesn't completely flip all the packaging over to the new Marvel Legends stuff. Put all these on card.
Yeah,
you're saving box.
This though comes in a pretty cool box. Like the way this and the Chuckles they go hand in hand together with like the way they set them up.
Packs make sure they're in boxes and look nice of art, but the singles give them to them like those. That's new Spider-Mans. Those are cool.
Yeah.
I only have one of the 2 brothers anyways. I got him for like $14. And the way I got the second one is I just set the one I got up in front of a mirror. So I'm going to be glad to get both of these guys in this Crimson, because then I'll have them and I won't have had to spend the full price. But this is probably going to be what, like 90? Is that what was announced?
75, yeah, something like that. 80. I'm in on this one though. This looks cool.
Those are nice.
And then
Meh.
no, I think I'm gonna be 100% on all the Lady Joes.
Helix looks cool. I'm in on her. She looks cool too.
Who is it?
Helix. She's
Yeah.
from like one of the I want to say one of the movie lines. Like that's when she was like more of a prominent character.
Okay.
I'm just hoping that it doesn't happen that we got this really cool render and then the face sculpt comes out like the cover girl.
Yeah, that cover girl is bad.
That's not going to be.
Looks like Bruce Jenner.
So, then we got.
Oh, that's good.
That was pre-announced before, right?
Yes, this looks awesome though.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he looks cool.
It does
Yeah, I
look-
don't know when
He
it's
looks
coming out.
cool, but I'm a Cobra collector for the most part. Jonathan's 100% Cobra, so he's not picking up any Joes. I want this one too. No idea who she is, but love her. She, her, Joes. I like unique character with cool blades. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when they do the loose arrow, and hopefully they'll, hopefully it'll make. There's a way to make it look like they're drawing that back.
Yeah.
What about Python Patrol? Right?
They look good. I'm not in on these anymore though. I don't need any of these troopers or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. See, and this is the beauty of like Joe, right? There's going to be people who are like, I'm all in on the Crimson, or I'm all in on the Pythons.
Yeah, and you get to pick. If you don't want to collect them all, you can kind of, all right, I'm gonna build these ones, or I'm gonna build this one. So,
yeah. Jonathan is saying pass on the Pythons. Connor is repaints, pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, I haven't done a repaint rant video for GIJoe yet. Maybe that needs to be done.
So I feel like because of the fact that that you're able to like get them out in different lines, I feel like it's a little bit of a pass for them because like, yeah, you're reusing it, but you're using it for like a store exclusive, or you're putting it in like Python Patrol. And it's like, all right, I kind of let that slide, as opposed to like Star Wars, where it's like, hey, we just released this figure last week and now we're going to put it on our retro card and charge you even more for it.
Leave Lando out of this.
I think this is cool when they do the, I think this guy looks.
Oh yeah, we need the dreadnoughts. I'm excited for building them. That's gonna look.
Knocks out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have bought a Zartan and a Cobra Commander and
that's cool.
And a couple others.
Did you get the Zartan, the color changing one, or no?
No, I didn't get that one. I bought the first one and then I didn't get the color changed one.
Okay.
It was hard enough to find that one.
Yeah. And then we got let's see, I'm all in for these. And then what about this group here? This is basically the one that just got canceled, but in red.
Yeah. Yeah, the fire team squad. This is supposed to match with the his tank.
Yeah, I did not pre-order this.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I don't need this. I don't need to pick this one up.
But it looks really cool. It looks
definitely a cool set.
Yeah. So Jonathan's a pass too, and he just said he's all things Cobra. Of course, I like the fire team.
But see, I feel like this one, you kind of like, it's cool for the accessories that they come with, but you pretty much have all these troopers already. But if you bought the his tank,
not in these colors.
That's what I'm saying. If you bought the his tank, these are made to specifically go with the his tank, so it makes sense to like have them. You know what I mean? If you got the his, I didn't get the his, so.
Okay,
but just looking at what they come with is just amazing.
The
nice touch
about recoloring and stuff. I think there's a television show clip you need to add in.
Okay, go ahead.
You remember in season 3 or 4 of The Simpsons, and Lisa is sick of Malibu, whatever, and so she gets with the creator and designs a completely new doll that everybody loves, and it's going to be like the best, fastest selling thing in the world. And they go to put it in the stores, and Mattel is very afraid of the doll because it actually, is going to empower women and stuff like that. And they don't want that. So they make a completely new Malibu Stacy doll with a new hat. And it's exactly the same figure, but with a new hat. And when the kids go to buy the doll, they see the new one with a new hat, and they're like, and she takes it and rips it out of the box, and she's like, it's just the same thing again. And they say, yeah, but she's got a new hat. And they basically run her over and get all the ones with the new hat, and then run out of the store and don't buy her toy.
Yeah, this was like the same thing, especially because the nice touch though with this was the blue laser effects, and then if you look at the Iron Brigade 2-pack or Steel Brigade 2-pack, they come with the red laser 2-packs. The red laser effect.
Yeah, and here we go. So this is how much is this one going to be? Another $60?
I think this is 44, right?
Okay, we'll just say 45.
This is up already. This is up on pre-order.
Okay, well I didn't look, but Steel Brigade. This is pretty cool.
This sold out. This sold out immediately.
The reason I didn't get this was because I had gotten that build-up pack from Gridiron Studios, which basically had the backpack. I know G-Force picked up a jetpack at a convention. I tried to 3D print some, but this is basically like the original jump pack, right? Like that they had. But this is the Steel Brigade or whatever. I think they look fantastic. I think they look cool. I like the smoke and fire effects coming out of the jetpacks and stuff like that. But I have that other jetpack, and I don't think I need any more.
Yeah.
We'll see. Passing on these. Let's see. Steel Core, Fire and Ordered. This is a definite.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, it just depends on like what you're into. And then if you get Grunt comes with a Steel Brigade helmet, so you can make Grunt the gem of your Steel Brigade. So it looks cool.
I do like them. I mean, they look really good. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind if they ever come back. We'll see.
Hey, I'm gonna have to dip out early. My phone's about to die, and I can't charge it while I'm on here. But thank you for having me.
Okay. See you later.
I'll see you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Tripwire.
That's really nice.
I really dig them too.
What's walking beside him? Is it a rat? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's this little mouse there or whatever. I think it's really cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that in the cartoon.
Yeah. So I think it's I already see a pass on Tripwire, like Jonathan's pass on Tripwire. Of course, he's not.
But look at all the stuff he comes with.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me, right? So I think this one's really cool. I'm 100% for this guy.
That is a very nice figure.
Yeah. And then we got the this is I can't remember the name. Too bad Way's left. There was a lot of like, who is this? Who is this? And I remember. Wasn't sure, but another ninja character that looks really cool, and I think some people are going to be like, pass, not pass. This could go easily with your Legends hand ninjas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and Shang-Chi written all over it.
Yeah. And then I took these pictures. So this guy's pretty cool. I don't think he got announced as a price or anything, but I just wanted to throw that up. It's, I just think it looked fantastic. I did the head swap digitally on that one because they had the head on the ground. So I just stuck it on so you could kind of see what it would look like with the head. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a cool looking figure.
Yep. See, he could have just hung out 2 minutes longer. Anyways, that is all of the reveals that they had in the 6-inch scale, and that is what I came up with. It's two HasLab Ghosts plus. So if you're ordering everything that they announced at Comic-Con,
jeez,
that's what you're going to be spending. If you're a Marvel, if you collect Marvel, GIJoe, and Star Wars, just on the 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
Wow. Junkyard and Mutt, yeah. So, anyways. So what else is, so what do you got going on your channel this week?
Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I now build Lego from 10 a.m. to noon, standard time. Because I've got over here, what you can't see is a wall of Lego I've bought that's on clearance and stuff. And then I should be putting out. I'm going to try and put out a video every other day of some collection stuff I've bought. All the new Hallmark ornaments are out. I'm going to do a review of the Haunted Mansion movie more in depth. I got some trading cards I need to open. I got a whole bunch of stuff I need to get done this week. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know what
Lego studs, of course, you're a free open invitation.
Oh, I'm getting an invitation now because usually I just have to do my own Mega Block stream at the same time.
So
nobody shows up for that.
As executive director of the Salacious Lego Stud channel, I have
one Lego set that I kept saying I'm going to come on there and build. It's like one of those that's going to take me like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Those like $12 sets or whatever. I got like I don't know how many years ago, and I kept threatening that I was going to come on there and build it. But wow, that is quite a few Legos.
Yeah, I have unnecessary amounts I've got to build.
That's not unnecessary. It keeps you busy, right?
It does keep me busy.
Yeah. So when you build the Legos, do you then walk up a flight of stairs and toss them?
I've thought about that, especially with the Rivendell set when I finished that. But I wanted to smash that many times.
Yeah.
But I just don't know where. Well, at the moment, you see they're on a couple tables back here.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put anything yet.
Once they're complete, right?
Yeah.
They just take up much more room than when they were in the box.
Once you break them down, they don't take up any space at all.
Yeah. I seen that what people are doing is they're going and buying the sets, and they're just holding on to them for a few years and then reselling them.
Yeah, that's, I did that with some Star Wars and the original Indiana Jones ones. But now I'm just, I want to build them. Some of them are so cool, and I want to.
Yeah.
Plus, I need something to fill my days with. So
at Comic-Con this year, they did have a Haunted Mansion setup. They had these little pedicabs that were designed to look like the little Haunted Mansion rides.
Yeah.
I never saw them at all. I saw one pedicab like way down, like 3 blocks away, and I went walking to see if I could figure out where they were like launching from or whatever. But I was like too far. It was pretty hot. I was doing probably like 27,000 steps every day.
Wow.
On my Apple Watch, and I was done.
Yeah.
And by the third day, I was like,
at Disneyland, 27,000 steps.
Yeah. So. And it's like 3 days in a row. And then Sunday, I just gave up. I didn't even go down there on Sunday.
That's what happens to me on long cons. By the time Sunday rolls around, I'm like, or I could just stay here and my feet won't hurt.
But that's the cool thing is like, I think in the future, what I realize I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to be like carving out some time to do stuff outside every day, rather than just sitting in the convention center floor wandering back and forth, because I realized there was so much stuff out there that I had been missing.
Yeah. There's so many people who don't bother setting up inside, but they set up stuff outside. Like Funko has that whole Funko City thing outside. And, I'm sorry, G.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Yeah, now do the NECA, Mezco, McFarlane, Mattel, SH Figure Arts. No, I skipped all that. We'll have to do some of that next week. Too quiet in my house. My buddy, let's see. Sorry. Yeah. That sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. Thanks, guys. I'm doing okay, but it's just an adjustment. Anyways, so anything else new going on that you want to talk about?
No, that's about it. I don't have a lot going on at the moment. I'm possibly going to head to Kansas on Friday to do a little shopping, and then I'll come back.
Okay, cool. Kansas. All right.
Yeah. Well, if I go to Goodland, which is they've got a good Walmart there that no collectors really hit. It's about a 3-hour drive there and a 3-hour drive back.
Yeah.
If I decide I'm going to go to Ollie's, which is in Hayes, which is 5 hours away, I may just grab a hotel room overnight and then come back in the morning on Saturday.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
those are some good. I've never driven more than like an hour to find something. I've been in like a store and they're like, oh, we have it here, and I'll look and I'm like, oh, that one's just a little bit more than I want to drive for it.
Yeah. My big push will be I'm going to call the Hallmark Gold Crown store in Goodland and say, do you have the Haunted Mansion? If they have the Haunted Mansion ornament thing, I'm going.
Oh, then you definitely have to go for that.
Yeah, because my local one only got 6, and they were gone to pre-orders, and so they were hoping to get at least 36 of them. But I have to have that.
Right.
They're doing 3 figures this year and 3 figures next year, something, and it all connects together to complete the ride.
Wait a minute. Jonathan is saying, breaking news, Valaverse is doing that Condor exclusive as a no action points figure now. Okay. Is that true?
Watch that Valaverse.
Is that true? Or is this, I don't know if this is just to get me spun up on the word exclusive, and the way like all those Comic-Con exclusive needed a code until the week after Comic-Con, and then they were just up for its order. So I can't have that argument anymore. I'm glad that everybody's getting the figures that they want to get. Just please stop using that word if that's the case.
Yeah.
On the Valaverse channel. Okay. Breaking news.
Well, and as a Funko collector in the past, I would get the same thing because it's the exact same figure. It has a different sticker on the box. That's the only difference. It's not any, it's a shared exclusive. So you get the San Diego Comic-Con sticker, or you get the one without, and then you could just go buy that sticker.
They didn't even have they're not even doing a sticker for San Diego Comic-Con for like Hasbro. The one you get is the one you get. There's no sticker. So I'm curious to know with this action points. So I'll just ask this question really quick before we sign off, because we're getting to our 2 hours. Is it going to cost more since they're not taking action points? Because if it costs exactly the same, that is a big FU to everybody who sent in their action points.
That is very true.
Yeah. That is going to be a real, to me, like that you had to spend money to like mail in your points, then you had to cut up all your boxes and send those points.
Yeah.
Just for, if they bumped up the price like $10 or something like that, then I'm like, oh, okay, I saved $10.
Yeah,
regular figure price. Okay, so $21. So they're gonna, so they'll make it $5 more, and then that's what they're saying your points were worth.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, all right. I think we just hit our 2 hours. I did not do any vintage collection or 3.375-inch figures. But anyways, it was really nice having you on the show.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Open invitation. If you ever want to come back, just let me know. If you're not doing something on a Saturday, we always have a variety of different people here on Saturdays and stuff like that when people are available. So if you're
listening to you in the background while I'm playing Diablo or something.
Yeah, feel free. But thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody in the chat who joined in. I see Blue Sasquatch joined us right at the end. So you're going to have to probably rewatch everything because we're not going to do a recap. That's what the rewind button is for. But anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in again this week. And we will be back next week on the Toy Duo with probably more than a duo. And have a great weekend, everybody.
See ya.